You're so silly.
Yeah, it's hungry bull cow. So 4 or 5 days ago, and at least 4 videos ago, I broke out our excavator. We call her Precious, the KX71 Kubota 25 horsepower excavator that we love, get so much work done with it. And I said I was going to clear out a spot for increasing our pasture for this guy in here. And if you've been watching the past few weeks, you know who I'm talking about. Let's see how he's doing. We had him out this morning early for his feeding, and then we ran him without his harness on, and he ran across the pasture here. He's very interested in the tall bahia. Now, I just cut the hay yesterday, so there's not much tall bahia grass, but there are some little pieces out there that have a stem, and he loves to chew that Y seed head on it. So he was just out there chewing it, and he loves to rub his head against the trees where his horns are coming out. And we like him to run to get some exercise until we get, this is where his pasture will be, right here, including those woods. But Bella wanted to play, so Bella was playing with him and not in any way harming him, but he likes to headbutt her and stuff like that. Well, he took off running, and she came up behind him, and he couldn't outrun her, so he let out the most pathetic bawl, and it was cool. It was cool because he was having fun, but also I guess he got a little scared, and he ran straight to Deb up here behind the red barn there. Deb was up there, ran straight to Deb for Deb to protect him, and then went into his little white dog fence corral up there. So been pretty cool having him around. It's kind of what we center our life around. But today we are going to get on the Kubota and get some work done. I think the first thing I'll do is get rid of this brush pile. It's been sitting here for a couple years. I've ran the forestry mulcher over it a couple times to kind of break it down. But I think I'm going to haul it off rather than run the mulcher over it again. And this whole area is all part of the wooded area of the new pasture, or the new, I guess, paddock or segmented part of the pasture. And this will be the shade for the cattle. This is broken down pretty good. It's nice and dry, crispy. So I want to get this over to where I've got my fill dirt pit, and put this down in there, get some moisture in there, and have this start decomposing and turn into something usable. I've been working steady in here, but it's really slow going. And these pines were planted in rows, and maybe you can see the rows here. They're not perfectly straight, but they're like 7 to 10 feet apart. And I'm trying to stay in between the rows and not hit any of the pine trees with the excavator. And I'm also trying to dig out every single brush and briar and anything that I don't recognize. I know what a pine tree looks like. I know what an oak tree looks like. I'm very familiar with the barks on them. And I know none of them will harm our animals. But I know there's at least one cherry tree in here. It's hard for me to say cherry tree. But there's at least one in here. And I know that they spread, right? They're kind of invasive and they spread. So I want to make sure there's no little ones rooted in here. And I haven't seen any. But there are a lot of brush. There's some popcorn trees. A lot of vines, a lot of kudzu and other vines. And it's just slow going because you got to kind of rip it up, and then you got to get it to a place where you can weave it in and put it on the pile. And I'll show you the pile I got just from this little area that's previously been forestry mulched. Now that's raw, just like we bought it, but I've forestry mulched in here before, and everything that I cut the tops off of regenerated. Now, if you go back a couple videos, this whole area was a big dirt pile, and that's been carted off. Those videos are out there, and I carted that off in this same Summit trailer. But now I've got the Summit trailer full of that big pile of brush and dirt from the beginning of the video. I pushed the dirt on the bottom of that pile to right there, and the rest of this, all of this right here, came from that one little area. So here's another view. Again, the section that I'm working on right now, it's about, I don't know, 50 feet. And then we got to work our way that way, all the way to those pine trees right over there. So I'm going to be here a while.
That was impressive.
I've been pushing it all the way from back there.
I know. You pushed it from back there all the way to there. I mean, it was quick too.
I've been steady working. The sun is setting. You probably see it setting over the red barn there. And I'm about halfway through, but I thought I would have got more done, but it was just incredible the amount of brush that was in here. So there's one brush pile, not counting what's on the Summit trailer. That's pushed up, and that's twice as big probably as the last time I showed you. And then what I did was I took that brush in between these pines here and I pushed it out to our border road. And I want to show you something here. There's my house, or our house, mine and Deb's. And there's sunsetting. And we are, I don't know, 175 yards or so away from the house. Have a little micro food pot here and a feeder. So look what this guy's doing. So here's the border fence line. And a few days ago he put up a feeder. And there's his blind. Just put it up a week or so ago. So my feeder, my fence line, my land that I own. He doesn't own this land. He's just hunting someone else's land. I mean, he's asked permission and all, but would you do that? Would you set up, that's 20 yards, that blind is 20 yards from the fence line and 30 yards from my feeder and my food plot. It's just amazing. I mean, I get it. They're wild deer. My property stops there. The other guy's property starts over there. And I guess if it was the landowner that was hunting, I'd probably accept it more. But there's 20 acres there. It's really, really thick. There's plenty of cover in there. There's plenty of places to hunt besides my fence line. But that's cleared out. You remember how thick it was? I showed you the before picture. And there is the second half there that I have to do. And that is not perfect though. I still got to get in there with a tiller and a landscape rake. I got to make sure there's no cherry leaves on the ground. Okay, so there's the cherry leaves right there, if you don't know what they look like. And the bark is very distinctive on a cherry tree. I don't know if you can tell from that branch, but it's easy to tell. And that's what the leaves look like. And they will sure enough kill your cattle. So yeah, while I was in there, I found 2 more cherry trees. It's hard for me to say that. I don't know why. But this is the bark of more of a mature cherry tree. But that's it for today. We'll pick back up tomorrow right here. There you go. Before we get back on the excavator, we're going to do a little trimming. And now I'm going to go to the big pile that I moved and cut up some of those things that weren't very manageable to push, because eventually I got to load all that stuff on the trailer and get it down to a bigger brush pile. This is that dangerous big cherry tree. It's a pretty tall tree. It's hung up there. I'll have to grab it with the excavator and pull it out in chunks. I need to get this section right here cleared out, and I've got a good chunk of it. Now that I look at it, I got more than half of it done, but time to jump on the excavator and get some work done on that thick stuff. I found a pine tree over here that's a fair-sized pine tree, but I think I want to take it down because it's blocking the growth of an oak tree. So there's going to be more tree cutting and removal than I anticipated, but I want to get it right because once the cows are in here, I don't want to mess with them. And I got a little grove of gum trees there where you see the greenery, and all of them have to come out. probably save them for firewood. Guess I'll start right here. There's some thick stuff that I didn't get with the forestry mulcher on back of the Kubota tractor because I couldn't get in there, but there are definitely some oak trees I want to protect. So, got to be careful. I have a feeling these gum trees are not going to rip out by the roots easily, based on what I'm seeing from these little ones. Lost the pin. Now I just checked this pin before I got started because I usually have it wired in and I didn't. So the pin is right here somewhere, but I doubt I'll be able to find it. It's just a simple tractor snap pin. I meant to put a little keeper wire on it last night, but I forgot to, and I can't believe I lost it first couple minutes today when I didn't lose it at all yesterday. But if I had a pair of pliers, I'd really wrap this good, but this will be better than nothing. Working on this root for a while, and this gum is just all twisted down there. It's not like a straight root. It's like it comes off of some sort of feeder branch. So you don't dig straight down and you don't dig around it to kind of loosen it like an oak tree. They just go I got it. Got the whole tree. Alright guys, this thing took a lot of effort, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. I still can't swing it, but it had the most stubborn root on it. There it goes. Don't hit the camera. Oh. That was the biggest one in there, and the root, look at the root on this guy. It just doesn't go straight down. It comes at a side or from the side, and there was these massive roots that went sideways, I guess, that grow the other trees, and it was just a bear to get out, but she's out of there. Well, this has been a workout for me and the machine because I've been there for a long time digging out those 4 trees, and this was the biggest one, and there's still 6 or 8 more, but they're all a lot smaller.
Out. Crazy. Look at little Precious go. Look at her. Got the tip of it in the woods, I think it's hanging up.
We're on day 3. This section of gum trees, and as I get deeper in here, I got probably 8 on the ground. I noticed there's another big one there that's bigger than the biggest one I have down, and their roots are just ridiculous. They go every which way, but they don't go in the same pattern, if that makes any sense. And they'll be this big around, and they'll go down and make a 90-degree angle to the left. This one went straight down. I'm 6 feet tall. My feet are in the bottom of the hole. This hole is easily 4 foot deep, and I can't get this out. This is still solid, and normally at this depth, you can just take the bucket, and with the breakout strength, the curling force, you can just break it off. But this is taking forever. I mean, it's fun on the excavator, but I'm just not making progress. There it is. Look at that gnarly thing. And I forgot to tell you that I lost another pin even though I wired it. So I had to go get another pin. Got a little piece of wire holding that on. I've been in the excavator for 4 hours non-stop. I haven't got out for anything. Deb brought me some snacks and drinks, and I've been steady working in here. I got bored with the gum trees because I was digging around them. It was hard to dig, and like a squirrel, I took off and did something else. So I've been kind of working back and forth just to kind of change it up so it's not as monotonous. If you see from the excavator over, there is a very tiny section left, and we've got 3 gum trees that I got to knock over, and I've been digging around them. I dug around them for a while, then I left and I dug around them some more. So these 2 are ready to go. They're the smaller ones, so we're going to push them over. And then this bigger one, I backfilled it once I cut the roots, but the only roots that I know of are on the back side. So I'm going to work on them, and I should be able to push them towards the camera. So remember, this is day 3 of working in here. And periodically I'll go through there with the dozer blade and kind of clean up just when I get bored and want to do something different. But all the limbs that we cut off are right there in that big pile. I got to push them. There's a little bit of brush here. There's a big pile of dirt here that I've kind of loosened up and got all the brush and sticks out of. And look at the massive pile of brush that we have here. But I've pushed up and pushed up. So this is, 7 or 8 feet tall. It's probably 2 or 3 times wider than the last time you saw it. And I got to deal with that later. And then there's still another pile to push into there. So there's the pile that's taking up the whole path here. And that's probably 8 foot tall. A lot of it is limbs, but there's also brush from this area here.
Boy, this is not going to be a good angle for you people. I apologize, but there's the tree. Shaky, shaky, shaky. He said he doesn't think it's ready. He said it won't go. Apparently, we're going to try a little one. Oh, there we go. Ooh. That crunching and cracking, Bella hates that noise. She won't even come out here. Well, that worked out pretty well. Trying to work on that root system there. Oh, looks like he got it. He spent more time on Precious this past few days than he has in a couple months. I know that feels good to him. Working on the big one again. A tight little squeeze there. You come at it at a different angle, I guess. Whoop, time for me to move. There she goes. There it is. Well, that's what he got out. The root. You gonna drop it? Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
I didn't like how this one was curling around. I'm getting out of the way. I'm also getting out of the way because I'm clumsy. And he's getting out of the way because he's done.
Day 4, and I think we're going to finish up today. We've got bull cow that we call Chief, and then we've got moo cow that we call Charlie. We've done everything over there from the Summit tractor all the way across here, and that little bit of green weeds is something I'll get with the mini skid steer with the mulching head. But we've gone all the way back to the fence line. There's 3 piles. That's probably, well, that pile and then the pile back there are about the same. So I've got to cut this up. These are the gum trees in the last segment that we took down. And I've got to cut the branches off the cedar. And then over here is the big pile. And not in this video, but in a later video, we got to get this pile here somewhere where it can just start to break down. Oh, and there's also piles in the road that I have to consolidate into the big pile. We got 2 cedar trees to trim up here, and then we can do some excavator work. That'll make mowing so much easier. I got everything limbed up, or bucked up as they say, and cut into manageable sized logs for the ones that I'm either gonna make into firewood or chip up in the chipper. I could chip all of this gum up, but I don't have time to hook up the chipper and do that today. So I think the rest of the work I can do from the seat of the excavator. And that's halfway fun. I say halfway because this was a one-day job and I'm on day 4. I am dangerously close to finishing this job. I've only got that little bit there, and I think I've told you guys like 4 or 5 times, I've just got that little tiny piece right there to do. But I kind of got bored with doing that, or I just wanted to get it looking good. So I cut up these gum trees, put them on the pile, separated all the trunks and everything. There's a couple oaks in there, but they're mainly all those gum trees. So that's a sizable pile there. Imagine if that was cut into firewood lengths and stacked up. Now remember, we started over there, really thick stuff by the back of the Summit trailer. Our fence line, our property line is over there. So all this was what I've been trying to do. And of course, the little piece that's left there. But I also did a lot of grading. There was a big pile of dirt back here. I was thinking about sifting it, but then it was real sandy. So I was like, it's not worth the trouble. I'm just going to fill in the holes in here. So I've been pushing that dirt around, and that took a while. But that's left side, perfectly clear. I still got to get in here and rake it with the landscaping rake. But here's where that big pile was. I worked on this for a while. Remember that big pile that was right here? That was, I don't know, 8-10 foot tall. I had to take that and grab it and back drag it because I couldn't push it all. So I'd take big chunks and I'd back drag it and I'd put it on the pile. I think I had to do that 4 times before I got the pile small enough where I could push. And that's my last push right there. And that was pretty impressive what I was able to push. And here is where it all ended up. And now this is just a really sizable pile. So that's 25 foot wide and then 8 to 9 foot tall and probably 25 foot the other way. And some of them, you see, like that one, I'll have to cut because there's no way I can load that on the trailer. This is what Deb will now see. I mean, look at all that light that can now hit the ground. I'm going to put a whole bunch of our dirt that I sifted in the front of the property in there to help it grow grass. And just the cows will have all of that shaded area. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the video. Until next time, you all take care out there. And remember, life's short. Tractor or excavator hard. And check out these 2 videos right here. They're pretty cool too. We'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.